NATO Secretary-General says the military alliance will need to become more lethal in response to Russia and China's growing military capability. In a speech in London, Mark Rutte warned the danger to NATO countries wouldn't disappear with an end to the war in Ukraine. Europe correspondent Tim Swanston reports from London.
Well, this push for greater defence spending and capability comes in the context of both Russia's war in Ukraine and US President Donald Trump's desire for NATO countries to spend more in securing the region. NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte has said NATO needs what he's described as a quantum leap in its collective defence. He's pushing for a 400% increase in air and missile defence, like the production of millions more artillery shells and thousands more tanks. In a speech at Chatham House in London, Mr Rutte spoke about the escalation of Putin's war machine, as well as China's growing military capability. He said the danger to NATO countries wouldn't disappear if the war in Ukraine ended, and Russia could be ready to use military force against NATO countries in 5 years. In response, he says NATO would need to become stronger, fairer and more lethal.
We see in Ukraine how Russia delivers terror from above. So we will strengthen the shield that protects our skies. Our militaries also need thousands more armoured vehicles and tanks, millions more artillery shells. And we must double our enabling capabilities, such as logistics, supply, transportation and medical support.
Now, Moscow has criticised the speech. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov says NATO is showing its real nature and is an instrument for confrontation. This comes as Russia hit Ukraine with its largest drone attack since the start of the war, damaging a military airfield in the country's west. Russia and Ukraine have also begun what could become the largest prisoner exchange since the beginning of the war. There were highly emotional scenes as young prisoners of war and severely injured soldiers were exchanged on Monday. Thousands of bodies will also be repatriated in the exchange, one of the only things agreed to in talks last week. Ukraine and Russia are due to meet for further direct talks later this month, but NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte says he believes Russian President Vladimir Putin isn't interested in peace.